Hello, hello, crafty friends. Stacy here with my Tuesday creative session. What a fun card we are going to be making tonight. Look at that. Awesome spinning wheel. So I'm here tonight with another masculine card. I am loving the gears and textures. So this is what I'm kind of featuring this month. It is my monthly class, which I had last Saturday. So if you did not see that, definitely go back in my channel. You'll see a whole card class using this set. Lots of inking techniques, ones that I'm going to be using tonight as well. But this is the gears and textures. This is the stamp set. Here is the dies. Love this set. And what's missing, you might see, are sentiments. And that's totally okay because what's great about this is you get to adapt it with any theme you want, but definitely loving this for masculine cards. So it's been a long time. Tonight, I'm also using the family ties. I just use that Happy Father's Day just to bring in that sentiment. Swap it with anything you want. Thank you. Happy birthday. Thinking of you. You're the greatest. Just masculine, right? So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're playing with Emboss Resist. So in my card, you see here, I have that gray background, but it's like a grayish tone. This is thick basic white. That's what I used. It's a little hard to see with my lighting, but that matte there, that's a silver foil matte. And then I'm using some basic black cardstock. Here's a sentiment that I have from one of my paper pumpkins from last year. That's what makes this bundle great because you can just adapt it. And I'm using one of those mini rotating bearings, which I have an Amazon link for you, which will be down in the description for you to pick up. It just makes these cards so fun. So I'm going to bring in, here is all the pieces and parts that I've die cut out already. I've gone ahead and done my stamping, and I've done my the only other piece that I used is the other set, I must say, is my stylish shapes. You all know I love stylish shapes, but again, I'm going to show you how to make this custom background. And then here, this is that emboss resist. We're going to do that. But here's all the bits and pieces from this gears and textures that I cut out. Super fun set, you guys. Happy Day. Again, I cut this out. This was just Happy and Day are separate. So I think I have about 3/8 of an inch strip of basic white. I just stamped that using, what did I use? Secret Sea. That's the only ink color I'm using today is Secret Sea to get all these different shades. And I stamped Happy Day, cut them up, and then I pop them up using some of the little mini dimensionals. And then again, using some of that great silver foil we have, which is new. Let me get you that number. That is brushed silver and gold foil, 12 by 12, item number 164861. So this is that great. Here's a big piece of it that you can see. See, it's got those texture lines in there. It's just not a solid foil. So that's fun. Okay. So again, let's get going here. These are all those bits and pieces that I cut out from the die set. But first, what we're going to do is we are going to focus on this piece right here. So let me just give you a couple of quick measurements. So I'm using a regular A2 size card base. This is basic black, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. For my inside mat here, this is 4 by 5.25. Stamp with whatever you want as your sentiment. Then I have my silver is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That is just going to mat on the front. And then 4 by 5.25. This is thick, basic white cardstock for my front focal piece. So we're going to get going with that. Actually, before we get going, just to have a clean work surface, since I already did my stamping here, where is my seal? I have a brand new seal, so I know I'm not going to run out during this video. So you would want to stamp your inside we're just going to get this out of the way and set down. And then I'm going to come in with that beautiful brushed foil and adhere that down as well. I already went ahead and cut out all my die pieces. So if you have this set, and you're going to craft along with me, just prep all your pieces. I like to do all that, get everything out, and then get ready to craft. So we can just put our card base now off to the side, and we are going to bring back in our layer. I'm going to take a seat. My back has been killing me lately. All right, so here's all my die pieces. So we are going to do emboss, resist. I'm going to bring in, I have a blending brush, I have a sponge dauber, and I have my Secret Sea ink. Sorry about that glare right there. I have my Secret Sea ink. Let's move that over here. And Bodhi in the background, you all hear him barking. Bodhi is 9 months old now, my little mini Aussie doodle. I am using light Secret Sea Stampin Blends. I should be using the dark, but I guess it worked. I'm using the light. I also have on my desk Moody Palette Glossy Dots. You can see I used a few of the white ones there. You can use black as well, which come in this set. So I have those. I have everything I need to do my Emboss Resist, which is my Versamark ink. I have my white, my bright white embossing powder. I have a coffee filter. I have my embossing buddy. And what's going to make my card spin here, that fun technique, those bearings. These are the 10 millimeter bearings. I get these on Amazon. Like I said, I have a link for you. I only have 3 left. I've been having so much fun with these, so I have to order more myself. I have a paper towel to clean off when we do the resist. All right, let's get down to it. So first what we're going to do is, this is my 4x5 1/4. I'm going to take my embossing buddy. This is just like, think of it like a sock filled with powder. That's all it is. You want to rub it all around. So when you're going to do embossing, this is great because this doesn't allow the embossing powder to stick where you don't want it, right? Okay, so now that we did that, oh, and I also have a piece of scrap, which I'm going to put underneath me. I definitely need that. We'll keep this in the corner here. And I am loving, I have a new camera setup. I'm loving how much that I can show of my desk. So I hope you enjoy that. And it's a little bit clearer. More clear than my prior videos. So I'm trying to get advanced in my technology here, and I have some help along the way. Okay, so I have a few stamps from that set. So I have this kind of cluster. It's that stamp right there. Kind of gives like a splattered effect. I have the medium gear and I also have that small gear. So I'm going to come in with my Versamark now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a randomly stamped background. Now, we do this a lot with tone on tone, cardstock, but this is going to be a little bit hard to see because the Versamark is like a watermark, and using white cardstock, it is going to be hard to see. So trust me with this. Trust the process. Doing this, you will see there is no perfect pattern. As you can see, I overlapped right here. Okay, that's totally fine. Doesn't matter because the end result, it all comes together and looks great. So but you're going as best as you can, try to be mindful. So I'm going to do one stamp at a time. I'm going to use like maybe like a triangle or some sort of pattern so I know where not to overlap, if that makes sense. All right. So I'm going to first start with my biggest. So that would be this. I'm going to get it nice and juicy in my stamp set, and I'm going to stamp in the corner. I'm going to do another one in the other corner, maybe a little bit further down. And, it's definitely hard for you to see, but I could see a little bit where this is. Okay, I'm gonna put okay, I think maybe one more here. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm gonna quickly come in with my medium gear and start hitting them around as well. I'm pressing down because I'm gonna get a lot of ink on there. Sorry if my head was just in the way. You got to get used to this new camera. Okay, good. Now I'm going to come in with that small one, same thing. And the small one, you're really just filling in where you need to. Okay, I think I have good. I'm good. Okay, now I'm going to close this up. I'm going to get all this out of my way. Now I'm going to come in with my coffee filter and my white embossing powder. And I'm going to sprinkle that. Well, you can see. Let's see. Can you see? It's hard to see, but you see a little bit. Okay. I'm going to sprinkle the white embossing powder all over that, making sure I cover it. Don't worry about it. That's what the coffee filter's for. It picks up and catches all of that. All right. I dumped my whole container on there. Just let that sit a minute. And then I like to shake it and then start knocking it off. All right, hold on. You might be able to see this now. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Sorry, I have my lights so that my filming is good for you, but white on white is really hard to see. So I'm going to clean this up a moment and just get this out of the way so I don't get a mess. And this is what that coffee filter is for. Look at how nice it picks up all of that, and we have no waste. All right. Now what I'm going to do is close this up, and I have my heat gun off to the side here. I'm going to use my tweezer and hold this. I'm going to tap it. Okay. Now you can fast forward. Got some on my desk. We'll clean this. You can fast forward, but I am just going to heat this. Sorry, I have not figured out editing with videos, nor do I have time to. So I can't do that right now. So you can fast forward, but I'm going to keep this up. It's going to take a minute, so I apologize because we got a lot of embossing on here and we want to make sure this is definitely heated. And you can see it turning over. And what would be fun is you can also do this with colors. But for today's technique, we're doing white on white. We are about halfway there. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I know there's such talented people out there that edit, but with my day job, I'm lucky I can get my videos out sometimes, right? We are almost there, you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Almost, almost. I could have prepared this and prepped it ahead of time, but I wanted to do this live with you. All right, we are just about done. Perfect. Okay. Thanks for sticking with me. You can see it a little bit now. You got that in now. Oh, there you go. See that? All right. That's just nickel. My scrap. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make that background. So that grayish color, I'm using Secret C. I'm going to come in with my blending brush, ink that up. Okay. But I want to kind of tap that off and get those first couple of stark lines, see you got those harsh lines in there. You want to kind of get them out of the way. So you can start blending off on your paper. And then what you're going to do is you are just going to come in and start putting ink all over this. I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap. If I can open my drawer here, just to kind of cover my fingers, you'll see when we get to it. Okay, so I'm going to start blending off my paper and then come on. You don't need that right now. Just start blending. So you see you're getting that nice, this is where now you're going to use that because you want to put that on. Otherwise, you're going to get super inky fingers. And then everything you touch will be dark. All right, so that's kind of a nice shade. I know it's picking up for the camera, but for me, it's quite dark. I know it doesn't look that dark for you, but I'm going to keep going around a little bit more there. If you need to come in with color, you can certainly do that, but I don't think you're going to need if you're using Secret C. Okay, so when I think I have a nice amount of color down, now I'm going to just take, well, first I'm going to take a paper towel now, okay? And you see where you have ink on top of the raised enamel part of the um, stamped images. Now we're going to just rub with the paper towel and it's taking the ink off of that raised part and look, it's making the white shine come through. So that is super cool. See, it's taking off the ink. Let's do that. Just make sure go over all your pieces. And it's okay that you don't have perfectly stamped images. Totally okay. I think I did everything. Doesn't that look great? Cool background, right? All right, I'm just going to clean up. I do need my ink pad, but I do want to clean up a little bit of this. Okay, so now we're going to come back in with our sponge dauber, something we forget to do a lot, and we're just going to ink around those edges, just make it a little, grungy. That's what's great about this set is that you can kind of stamp anything and you just want to make that grungy type of look and it goes beautiful with this set. Like I said, I have a whole card class where we made 4 different cards using lots of inking techniques that you can find on my channel. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to close this up. Now, we're not done. We are not done building this background. Okay, as you can see, I have some splatters there. So we are going to come in with that stamping blend and we are going to use the brush tip side. So using our cap, you can splatter any color of Stampin' Blend that you have. So all you're going to do is hold your cap and hold your marker, and you're going to flick off your cap where you want some speckles to go. Okay, so flick off your cap. just like that. Okay, how's that look? Less is more. I think that's pretty cool. Just a little grungy. All right. So now we are just going to we're going to take this out of the way now. We are going to bring our card base back in. Look, I have dust on my wheel. I love that wheel, so fun. Okay, now we are going to adhere this down, but now look at how fun that background is, right? Just love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I am going to bring in my silicone mat, flip this over, and I want to be sure. So it's hard to tell, but this curled a little bit, and I am using the thick basic white, but it did curl just a little bit from heating it. So I want to be sure that I put my tape runner right along the edge there. So when I put it down on my card base, it's completely flat. So I just want to be right along the edge. So I'm going to flip and turn my craft mat, or whatever works for you. We all have our own little techniques, right? There's no light go up super bright. Okay, and then figure, do I want it this way? Do I want it this way? Actually, I like it this way. Okay, I don't want to put my face. Boy, what happened here? You're getting to see my messy desk. Sorry about that. All right. I think I threw my coffee filter on that and it hit my remote. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So now, where's that silicone mat? I'm going to bring that in again. And we are going to start building with these pieces. Let's put this over here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we're going to start building these pieces. So let me get everything out. We're going to first put this piece right here, that grid, right? This ladder, we're going to chop up. We're going to put this guy right there so we can start building these. So with the ladder, as you see, I have little pieces here. What you want to do is just right between one of the sections, perfectly trim it for however long you want. So this little piece is going to be garbage. Okay, so like that's going to go there and that's going to go there. Actually, I want this one a little bit smaller, so we're going to take out the little piece there. Perfect. How's that? Yes. Okay. I'm going to start building these down, and I'm going to use my other tape runner because I feel like my this one I push too hard with, just how I am. I'm just hard gripped. So this it's like an air touch, P touch, or whatever it's called. I could just lightly get some adhesive down. Okay. So this is going to go right up top here. Yes. Part of the ladder. It's going to go right here, a little down further, right? Just like that. And not one card will be the same because your backgrounds will always be different. We're going to put our chain. Yes. All right. This gear right here and this little gear, we are just going to overlap. So I just want to put a tiny bit of adhesive just on one little edge, because I'm going to put these two together, just like that, overlapping. So it's just kind of one piece. And then we're going to put that silver, this piece right on top. I'm going to use a little dab of liquid glue, I think. Where's the tweezer? Yes, we've got some foam. I need my little foam, my mini foam squares. I didn't have them out and ready to go. So we'll just let that dry for a moment. All right, we already have our sentiment popped up. So now we are going to build this big gear. So I am going to take the large gear that I have in basic black. I am going to adhere the silver ring. So we're going to just do that, put some adhesive a little bit around. Oh my God, I think I found my green glue. Just end it. Truly, truly loving gears and textures. And if you shop with me this month, March 2026, and place a $25 order, you'll receive my PDF tutorial for the card class for free automatically. I will email that to you. And if not, you can always pick up my tutorials on my website, craftydivausa.com. All of my card class tutorials are there and they are instant download. Or I also have card kits, pre-cut card kits for sale. We're just building. All right, so this piece, when you cut the ring out, you get this inner piece. So I'm going to use this, a little bit of Scotch tape. I'm going to put on this. I'm going to turn my wheel over because I want to cover it so it looks like, I don't know, whatever you call those things on wheels, but I'm just going to use the tape and tape that down. Just like that. Cool, right? Okay. So now let's continue to build our cart. Now that this dried, I'm going to get some foam and then we are going to do that spinning gear that is so, so, so fun. So I used a regular 3D dimensional there, but these are those mini ones. These are great. I really never used these minis until recently and they are absolutely great. They get in the little spaces and then you can see them when you turn your item over, or you can kind of maneuver a little bit so you can't see them. What's that? Yeah, cool. Okay, so we're going to put this in the lower corner. Just like this way here. Perfect. I'm going to take this ladder. There. Sweet deal. All right, so I think now we are up to our gears. So where is my rotating gears? Here they are. So like I said, I have a link for you in the description for these. And I believe you get 10 of them on Amazon. So this is the 10 millimeter, or I bought the 10 millimeter, the 7 millimeter. So the 7 is just a little smaller, which is great for these gears because on my other cards, I had this gear spin. This will work as well for this, but doesn't really matter. Okay, so you see the bottom end, the bottom, which is larger, goes on your base because this piece the smaller piece is wood rotates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use glue, and I want to just visually see that's where my gear is going to go. So I think I'm going to go right about here with glue. Okay, nice daub of glue, and I'm just going to drop that on and push it down and let it sink in to my glue. And I'm just going to leave it for a minute. All right, we are going to work with our sentiment. So let's just lay this on top just so I can see. So fathers, we're going to kind of put on an angle going this way. So happy Father's Day. How's that looking? So let's get this down while that sits for a minute and dries. And then we'll just adhere that top down and let that dry. So cute. So, so cute. So again, just not happy Father's Day, happy birthday, thank you, happy retirement, like anything you want to say to a man. This is a great, great set. Okay. So now we want, let that dry, and you can use mini glue dots here as well. But what you want to do is now put some glue. I'm just going to use the liquid glue because if you just let it sit for a while, it's the best, strongest for this. I'm just going to get some glue on there, a nice dollop of glue in the middle. And then I am just going to lay my gear down. And it's slipping off. Put it where it goes and just let it sit. Okay. I have one that I can play with and show you because that is totally dried up, but you're just going to let that one sit for a few moments. And last, we're just going to take those Moody palette dots. Like I said, I'm using the white ones, and you're just going to put a few of them around. So let's say we're going to, now I'm not going to put them in the same spot as this card because I have the white there. So we're going to just do one here. We're going to do 3. And then a small one is going to go, this little slippery sucker. Go here. Yeah, wherever it lays, right? There. And then right there. You sort of try to make a triangle. That's what I've always been taught, shown, whatever. There's no right or wrong. Crafting is whatever you make it. So we're going to do right there. That's going to be our little triangle. All right. So I am finished. Still not dry. It's just gonna sit there. It's just gonna sit. It takes a good amount of time to dry, but just trust me, leave it because here's the end result. This one's totally dry. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's card class. And look, love it, love it. So again, I was using Gears and Textures. This is the featured bundle this month. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you give this card a try. And if you do, please, if you're part of my crafty group on Facebook, the link will be down below in the description. We love to share all of our projects. So if you do make something that I've made, I'd love for you to share it, or you use the technique. All right. Happy crafting, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Take care.